Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The next question is from Engineer Uche Augustine, CEO, Stop the Cycle Initiative. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for that excellent speech. My humble question is on youth development, especially on human capacity development. Going forward, Your Excellency, we need to know your plans for the youth in terms of human capacity development. Not all youths are interested in agriculture, so many youths are interested in other ventures. Please, can we stop sharing the items, please? We need an orderly atmosphere. Thank you. Please, sir, throw more light on plans for human capacity development, as the youths are the highest number in this regard. Please, can we settle down? I think this is the most important session of today. Please, can we settle down? Thank you.
Thank you. The issues about the youth, we have already started the process of ensuring that our able youth with required tech are engaged. First, you will agree with me that 65% of those who benefited from that credit line are youths. So it takes them out of the side of agriculture. Secondly, we already have a partnership that we are trying to conclude. We've started the process already. By the grace of God, we'll soon conclude the details. This has to do with the training of youth. It's a special agency that is coming in from China. We have another one that is also an affiliate of the federal government. These are people, when they come in, when we set up this, when we conclude this establishment, it is going to bring our youth in the areas of oil, developing them in the area of oil and gas, not just trade, oil and gas, skill acquisition. Because part of the problem we have is, even after the education, we also need specified skills. Those skills are even what we need now for employment, not the degrees. So we're already working on that. Outside that, I need to say this too. Part of the problem we also have amongst ourselves is, how many of these youth are willingly ready? I mean, spiritually ready, emotionally ready for this engagement. We find ourselves in a situation, an environment where everybody is interested in quick money. So a lot of them are not really, but part of the programs that we have decided to do is, first, we need to start an orientation program. This orientation program is to change the mind of our youth from the area of crime to the area of justified means of livelihood. And also an area of contentment, because somebody will be employed and you say you're paying him 150,000 naira. He said, no, what will 150,000 for me? When if I go to crime, if I go to bunkering, I'll make 600, 1 million. So we need to also do that. Those are part of the programs we already mapped out. Like I said, we just started about 4 months ago, actively. We're already on board. Now that we have no issue anymore, we are focused. We're going to roll out those programs within now and August. We are very sure that by the time we start, this issue of youth unemployment will be drastically taken care of. So we're not just limiting it to agric. It's unfortunate for one to, in fact, I don't think it's proper for you to say the only means of employing our youth is agric. No. We've started with the soft loan Those of you that are business people, we provided a soft loan for you. We have the aspect of agri, and we also have the aspect of manpower development instead of specialized area of equipment. So once we do that, all these aspects, all this issue of unemployment of youth will definitely be handled. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next question is from Gift Kalefini Ogolo. Your Excellency, how does Rivers State government intend to assist the people of Oroworoko and Slaughter regain their land from land grabbers?
Do you really want me to answer that question? Well, I've not gotten any formal complaint. What I've been hearing is social media. When I get a formal complaint, I will address it. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next is from Mordecai Uzuamaka, Director of Finance, SUG Uniport. I want to thank His Excellency, sir, for his contributions to the student community of our dear state. I want to appreciate him for donating buses for the National Association of Nigerian Students, Zone B, and the National Union of River State Students Association. Sir, as a Director of Finance in the student community, seeing your acts of transparency and accountability makes you my role model. I also want to thank you for furnishing the arena of my school, the University of Port Harcourt. May God continue to bless you. My question is this: do you have any plans for the student community? Any further plans for the student community? Do you have plans of engaging students in an interactive session with you?
Election is 2027 now. So we're not going to do that now. But the only thing I can assure the students, in fact, the Rivers State students, let me commit myself here. I know that you've been complaining of your bursary. I'm going to take care of bursary. We are going to commence the process of payment of bursary. I think that is the most important thing. Even if you want to engage me in so let me assure you that your bursary issue here and now, I've made the commitment. We are going to effect the payments. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next question is from Comrade Christian Obi, Chairman, Coalition of Concerned NGOs, CBOs, and CSOs. Good afternoon, Your Excellency. What are your plans in the NGOs, CBOs, and CSOs in the state? Because in the past administration, we sacrificed all we had in support of them, but they refused to acknowledge our support, which has really affected our spirit. But with the hope we have in you, we believe you will do something about it. A letter of our readiness is already on your table.
Okay, on the issue of the NGOs, I think it's not even proper that as a governor, I interfere with everybody. That is the truth. In as much as we've made governance very simple, doesn't make it that everybody must see me. What I will do is to create a desk for you. So whatever the issue is, there should be a desk officer that will handle your matter and report to me. If it's something he cannot handle, then I come in. With that, the issue of the NGOs will be taken care of. But let me also add that you said you worked for the government before, you've not gotten anything, you're not recognized, you're working now. We are just starting and we'll put the machinery in place to ensure that we organize you properly first. Then we'll have a way to sit with you, collate your information, and have a formal way to address them. I can assure you that. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next question is from Newman Obunda, former supervisor for youth and sports, Obiako. What is the position of the Real Madrid Academy, which our words underwent screening by the Rivers State government under the immediate past administration?
Real Madrid is functioning now. when we came in, one of the first things we did was to put the institution to full use. In fact, the Commissioner for Sports have done the first admittance. There are students there. There was when we hosted the hockey, the hockey hooper sports team, the Real Madrid students came to visit me. I can tell you that when we came in, we know the school was not functioning during the past administration. As I came in, I called the commissioner and asked him, what is this issue? Because it's also wrong for us to allow these government properties to rust. So he told me a few things we needed to do, which, honestly speaking, it didn't cost us up to 50 million naira to put the place into full use. And as I said today, except this person who is asking the question is not living in Port Harcourt or is sending this message from maybe Lagos, if you go there, you will see that that school, the academy, is functioning. I can say that here, that is functioning. So asking what is happening there, no, it's the first thing we did was to take the required number of students that we can manage. Then by next year, we also admit gradually we'll get the required number. We can't take, the school cannot be overpopulated in one section. It's a gradual section. That, you start from your JS1, your JS2, so you don't need to take like 200 your JS, because definitely at the end of the day, the school increases per section. So at least I can attest to that academy is functioning in the state. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The next question is from Dr. Amy Mebre Otaji, Deputy National President, NASIMA. Your Excellency, Rivers State has all the advantages of an investment destination, and with the recent convocation of the Rivers State Investment Summit and some of your recent utterances, it is obvious you are a pro-business leader. But Your Excellency, how will you ensure that bureaucratic bottlenecks are eliminated for new investors to have access and complaints of business owners get to you for action?
His Highness that brought in that question, I think he's a member of that team. Are you not in that our investment team? Chief Eme, are you not in that our team? Okay, let me maybe help you. After the summit, we're putting together the findings, or will I say recommendations from the summit. But there is one major ingredient that the state lacked, and that ingredient is the first ingredient that enables investment opportunity, and that is creating an investment promotion agency. So we intend to do that, and as a matter of fact, I should be signing that executive order before the end of this week, so that once we have the investment promotion agency, it becomes a one-stop shop where your question, you take it to them, they handle it. It is only the one they cannot resolve, they now come to me. So that issue, like I said, it will be resolved in a couple of days. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next question is from Woroko Yunus from Obakiri. Your Excellency, I bring you profound greetings. When the Trans-Calabari Road was flagged off, the people of Obakiri thought that there would have been a step down of that project to facilitate the development of Obakiri as the closest neighbor to the Calabaris. Your Excellency, whatever needs to be done to include Obakiri community in your scheme of development, the people will be pleased with you because we are strongly behind you.
All right, thank you. The issue of the Obakiri axis of the Trans-Calabari Road is not the major idea. There is no way we can, rather than do the Trans-Calabari road or route it through Abakri, it will be better we just allow it. If you want to go to Calabari, you go through the Abonima or the Degema or the, you call it, Abonima axis. The Abakri axis of the Trans-Calabari, assuming we want to route it, you can see the channel. It's not a decision that I took on my own, or a couple of engineers were involved. The designer of that road, the first one, even the second and the third, met with the Ministry of Works, and they did the analysis in such a way that which is the best route to take that will be possible for us to achieve this project. If we're routing it from Obakri, you are aware that Obakri is a high-lying maritime way. The nature of bridge that we should be thinking of building in that axis will not be the kind of bridges that we'll be talking about in this channel. That aside, we're talking about bringing the Calabari nationality into the heart of the city. If we are passing through Obakri, are we bringing them into the city? You understand? So what we did was to make sure that whichever channel we're taking, you have to come in, or your end destination or your entry destination should be at least a closer place inside the Port Harcourt city or inside the River State. So that is the reason why we are not saying that we are not going to do projects there or bring development to the Obakri. We've already done that. We've done a Obakri internal road. I did mention it. We also have the entrance into Obakri. The road is bad. We already awarded it to Julius Berger as for them to complete it. So in terms of development in Obakri, we already have that in the front burner. So you don't need to complain. We're not going to leave that side for any reason. You're supporting us. Even if you're not supporting us, your brother might be supporting us. Even if you're not supporting us today, we need to do the road so that you will change your mind and start supporting us. Eh? So there's no reason to worry. We're going to fix the road for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next question is from Sir Professor Akuro Opobo. Your Excellency, what are your plans for the dredging of the Ndoni, Orashi, rivers and creeks, and other adjoining rivers and creeks to avoid annual perennial floodings?
Okay, we've already started preparing for the perennial flooding challenges. Like I did mention, the Ntawoba Canal, we've already done the cleaning of that one. But the ones outside the city, moreover, the Ndoni axis, they are one of the areas who suffer seriously when there is flooding. We, as a government, it is not just making pronouncements. I don't want to be a governor that I say what I know I will not do. This request was among the requests that was presented when we went for the commissioning of Omok Ebema Road. The spokesman gave us a list of requests. In fact, in all the communities, he listed their concern. And I can remember vividly that for the Ndoni, he did mention the issue of shore protection, dredging. We have already started the process. I will send our engineers to go and look at the possible way of preparing for the next flooding. At least we'll start from the aspect of shore protection, which is the key. Shore protection. The engineer will be going to that place by the special grace of God, by next week, to do on-the-spot assessment. And when he reports back to us, we will commence the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next question is from Aloysius Mbata. Your Excellency, do you have plans for persons living with disabilities in Rivers State?
Of course, we do. We have a special program that we would very soon unveil to support those people that are living with disability. But when you say disability, that you can't walk doesn't mean you're not able. You have your voice. After all, he gave us a very wonderful performance here. So maybe he has his own empowerment, empowered by his foot. Some persons, maybe their hand. But in all, as a government that has the interests of the people, I can assure you, we have not actually made good use of the Ministry of Youth and Employment. It's not just youth, but youth and employment. And one of the things we intend doing after this time, now that we already know that we don't have any other problem but to deliver to our people, we're going to create, at least for now, have a discussion with them, know what their problems are. For those of them that are already empowered or equipped one way or the other, where do we come in? Is it in terms of providing small assistance for them to be on their own? That is one aspect of it. For those people who are not equipped, I mean in terms of profession, what do we do to help them? We're going to make sure that the Ministry of Youth and Employment, they will handle it. But for him as a person, I know that outside the normal, we'll also be, if I should borrow the word of one of our leaders, we're also empowering you one way or the other. Even this program today is empowerment, is it not? At least we're also making you understand that we understand, appreciate you, and we encourage you in what you know how to do best. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next question is from Benson Jackson from Omuma local government area. Your Excellency, what is your administration's plan towards the abandoned General Hospital at Eberi? Eberi.
Eberi Omuma.
Yes, sir.
I think that question is a particular question for the people of Omuma. So I think let me reveal or let this audience know what we have in terms of health service delivery. We are not going to say take Eberi Omuma as just one case, because taking Eberi Omuma as one case, we might not be solving the problem of the healthcare services. Today, I can boldly say that we have concluded every plan to commence the completion of 4 zonal hospitals. The 4 zonal hospitals, Bori, Degema, Ahoda, and Omok. Now, we have also taken upon ourselves to make sure that the general hospitals that are close by are also fixed so that they can provide healthcare services to our people. But in this particular one that has to do with Eberi Omuma, when the Majesty there did inform me We sent our team to go and inspect, and we found out that going into that place, considering the security issue around there, it will be like, or will I say, amount to waste. So we decided that the closest hospital there is okay. Is it not? And we're going to fix that hospital in Okehi to take care of the people within that surrounding. It's important we say this. And it's also important for me to let the world know. Most of you that are leaders, traditional rulers, you know your subjects. How will you stay in your domain and allow criminals to take over government facilities? That job was done 30%. As I'm talking to you today, the community people vandalized it to zero. It's not even a place you can go. When my commissioner for health wanted to DI it, I said, don't DI it before they will carry you there. It's a place. So you as a traditional ruler, you also have a responsibility. Assure us of the safety of our men, our workers. Assure us that we are not going to waste our resources. Then we'll come. It's not coming there to come and fix the hospital. While we are building in the morning, when we come back the next morning, they've uprooted everything we've done. No, we're not going to work that way. You on your own need to assure us of your own security. Once you assure us, then at that point, we might decide to visit. But for now, that of the OKE is what we are working on to provide healthcare within that surrounding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the next question is still in the health sector. This question is from Ijoma Ebunefu. Your Excellency, what is happening to the Mother and Child Hospital? What's of the Cancer and Cardiac Hospital?
Please, with due respect to everybody, I don't want to discuss about mother and child or cancer. Please. I don't want to talk about it. Please, I beg you. I said with due respect to everybody, I don't want to talk about the mother and child. Neither am I going to mention anything about what is the name? Cancer. I don't want to talk about it, please.
Thank you, Your Excellency. This question is from Honorable Alalibo Frederick. Your Excellency, statistics and data show that in West Africa, Nigeria has the longest coastal line. River State has the same in Nigeria and great potentials for tourism. It is also true that for every 10 employments in the world, one comes from the hospitality sector. Tourism remains one of the sectors in the South African economy relies on. What are your plans for tourism in River State, as it will no doubt boost economic growth?
Tourism is a revenue drive for any country, any state, and any local government if it's being managed properly. The truth about it is, in our state, over the years, apart from the few things that was done between 1999 to 2007, I don't think anything has been achieved in the area of tourism in our state. A few interests have honestly, they've met us to discuss a possible way of improving the tourism state of Rivers State. We are still studying it because when we talk about tourism, there are landmark places. There are things we need to create. We have the tourist beach. The last time we heard about the usefulness of tourist beach was before 2007. Today, I don't think people go to tourist beach anymore. It's been taken over by criminals. So we are trying to see what we can do to reclaim those places, revitalize them, so that it can become another source of entertainment and also revenue for our state. But we're not limiting it to only the tourists. Even this commonest one, the zoo. Zoo is also part of tourism. I don't think in Rivers State you can see any other thing in that zoo apart from snake. That is the truth. Maybe one turtle that is 100 and something years that is still surviving. Turtle can survive. So that's all. So we are also looking at, you see, what you're trying to make me do today is explain and let the world know how detolerated our tourism estate in Rivers State is. When we start talking about it, I don't think it's proper for us to tell the world that this is how bad our state is. Honestly speaking, like I said, we have a few historic places that we could improve on, develop, and make it a tourist center. And not just that, and also encourage our people to also, most of this your Nollywood or whatever, we can even build, they call it movie village. They call it movie village. There's nothing wrong even in that zoo for us to create a small village there for entertainment. And it also serves like a tourist center for us. So, but you see, like I said, we're coming from a very difficult point. Now that we already know what we want, and we're working with the right people and getting the right support, it is just for us to put everything together. And by the special grace of God, by the time we're meeting here by next year for account of stewardship, I believe we'll have a better result on all aspects of your concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, without taking your time, permit me to take the two last questions together. One is from Amayanabo of Aboni, I beg your pardon, His Royal Majesty Bob Manuel. Thank you for opening the Calabari areas by the Trans-Calabari Road. Thank you for your efforts in stopping oil theft. However, the destruction of vessels carrying stolen oil into our rivers and creeks is poisoning our water and killing our fishes. And Isam, what can you do to save us? And the last question is from His Royal Majesty Eze Wolu Wodo, JP, DSSRS. Your Excellency, what is happening to traditional rulers' quarterly meetings and our statutory benefits?
All right, the aspect of the burning of vessels, destruction of our waterway, destruction of our aquatic life, this whole crisis, or what I can mean as, is also caused by us. It's us. It is our children, it's our brothers, it's our fathers who indulge in bunkering. And when the security agencies that are in charge or saddled with this responsibility of destroying oil bunkering, when they get to this site, what do? It is to burn the places, destroy their tanks or whatever. And at the end of the day, this waste, this burning, this wasted oil will still go back to our ecosystem. For me, as a government, there is no way I can stand here and tell you that we are going to do cleaning. No, we can't do that. That is a very, very, it's the only people that can do that is IPREP in Ogoni. Except we are going to write to IPREP that they should come and support us. But not government, as we are to say, in cases of not OSP per se, destruction of bunkering activities, the damage that is caused to our ecosystem. that the government can take that responsibility. No, we cannot. But what we can do is to discourage it. That is the truth. The much we can do to discourage it, the better for us. Then, in terms of the security agencies that are saddled with this checking of these activities, you also don't blame them. Most times, before they get to those places, even those are people who also put those things in fight and they run away. So one way or the other, well, what we can do is to have a meeting with the Navy, because they are the major people that are fighting this issue of oil theft, and see if they could have another way to fight this menace in our society. About the quarterly meeting, I'm not your chairman now. It's like your chairman ran away now. So maybe when your chairman is ready, he will come and ask, he will write to me. And if he gets the approval, then he will come for the meeting. But you already know his position. He's not a stable man. He's not a stable character. So he cannot say something in the morning and say another thing in the evening. And because of that, he decided to hide his head. So you don't have to bear with him until when God will help us and remove that let me not call it anything. Till when God will help us remove this wahala that you are having. By the grace of God, I think it will be resolved very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for answering and responding to questions.